Hi everyone and welcome to Thursday's English Homework Help. Today I'm talking about apostrophes and providing a quick refresher on when you should use apostrophes and when you should not use apostrophes. So let's get started. Now, when should we use apostrophes? There are two times that it's appropriate to use apostrophes. The first one is when you want to show ownership of something. For example, this is my friend's pen. Then you'd put an apostrophe because it belongs to them. And the other time is when we have contractions, where we're bringing two words together and we're going to be removing some letters. And when we do that, we use an apostrophe to show that we've removed some letters from those words. Let's have a little bit more of a look at those. So for ownership, here are some examples. My neighbour's dog. The dog belongs to my neighbour. And therefore, I put an apostrophe because it is my neighbour's dog and I'm showing that ownership there. In the same way, Dad's shoes would have an apostrophe because the shoes belong to Dad. Dad owns the shoes. And the same thing there in everyone's best interests. It belongs to everyone. The interests belong to everyone. Best interests aren't something that we can hold in our hand, but they are a thing. They're an abstract noun and they can belong to everyone. Now, when you see those apostrophes there, those words all happen to end in a consonant other than S. And there is a little bit more complexity around the rules when we need to show ownership and the person who owns the thing ends with an S or a double S. And we might look at that in another video because I don't want to confuse it with just when to use apostrophes today. So keep that in mind. But yes, that's the examples of how to use the apostrophes for ownership. Ownership is sometimes also called possession. So you might hear that called the possessive apostrophe as well. Okay, and the other time is when we're joining two words together. So that might be do not and turning that into don't. In that case, we had the do, we had the not. We got rid of, when we put them together, we got rid of that O, and that's why we put an apostrophe here. With cannot, we're getting rid of the N and the O, and that's where we put that apostrophe. With he will, we're getting rid of the W and the I. Now, there are some other examples where we might contract words, and we might put, we might drop a letter, for example, and we might put an apostrophe there, or we might drop a letter we might drop a letter at the beginning or the end of a word. And if we do that, then we might put an apostrophe as well. For example, if we said till instead of until, we might put an apostrophe to show that we're cutting out the letters U and N. And in Australia, we often drop the G sound at the end of words that end in ing. For example, that is blooming. I heard someone recently refer to a product that was apparently an Australian product and they used the word bloomin' instead. And with that word, what they're suggesting is that we say blooming, but we take off the G and we put an apostrophe to say, hey, we're just finishing the word a little bit short. Does that make sense? Okay, hope so. So when we're taking letters out of a word in some way and contracting a word down in some way, we might use an apostrophe, or we should use an apostrophe to show that there are some letters missing. Now, when should we not be using apostrophes? Well, we should not be using apostrophes for plurals when we have more than one of something, okay? If I have a class of 20 students, there should be an S in that word for sure because I have more than one student. I have multiple students. But I should not be putting an apostrophe before that S because nothing belongs to those students. I'm describing the group. It's a plural noun. This other example here, we are looking for teacher aides. Believe it or not, I actually saw that in an advertisement from a school this week with an apostrophe there. Okay, they're looking for more than one teacher aide. They're looking for plural teacher aides. They don't need an apostrophe. There are 20 teams in the competition. Teams, plural. We need an S, yes, because we have more than one team, but we do not need an apostrophe. We might need an apostrophe if we said that team's achievements, so the team owns some achievements, one team has some achievements, we might put an apostrophe S there. But when we're talking about lots of teams and we've put the S on the word team to show that we have many teams, we're talking about the plural, having lots of them, then we don't put an apostrophe before the S for plurals. Go back and watch that again if you need to get it really clear in your mind. I hope it's been helpful, and if it has been helpful, please like the video, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss more helpful tips like this each week. I'm working really hard to start to build up a library of content for my own students to come and watch, and also for other people who may not be able to have a tutor, a personal tutor, to come and get that information as well. Hit the bell so that you don't miss notifications when videos do get put up. And please comment on this video or any others, or email me at jane@lavenderlearning.com.au if you have some questions that you would like me to help you with. Anything in the primary school realm, I should be able to help with fairly easily. And if you have something in that secondary or university level, it may be something that I can help with pretty quickly. And if it's not, I can correspond with you and try and provide as much support as I can in any case, and maybe point you in the direction of where to get some more help as well. Thanks so much for tuning in today. I'm Jane Weston from Lavender Learning, and I look forward to talking to you on Sunday with Trivia for Kids. Thank you. Bye.